In the last few minutes of the market today, we detected an unusual trade worth $148 million on JPMorgan Chase stock, ticker symbol JPM. And so in this video, we will analyze this unusual option activity to find out how wealthy investors are trading JPMorgan Chase stock. Are they bullish and buying or bearish and selling? So that we can also trade in the same direction to make money while the rich are getting richer on Wall Street. Because as we all know, the rich have more access to information, including leaked insider information, to make better financial decisions. No wonder the rich get richer. Now, what's also very interesting is that today we can see this news media report of unusual option activity from Benzinga, where it was concluded it was bearish. But if you've been following our channel, you know that a lot of these websites and scanners do not provide very accurate analyses. And that is why we analyze more data in order to increase our analysis accuracy so that we can increase our probability of profit. So without further ado, let's dive into the data as usual. As we can see on the options time and sales tape, in the last few minutes of the market at 3:37 at the 16-second mark, we had these 7,835 contracts being traded for the October 18 options at the 190 strike puts, 220 strike calls, and the 235 strike calls. So let's take a deeper look at the option chain to find out more of these October 18 options. We can see here at the 190 strike puts, volume 7,900, greater than the open interest. So we know these options are opening trades. And at the 220 strike calls, we have 8,100, also greater than the open interest. So these are also opening trades. And finally, 235 strike calls, 8,000, also greater than 300 open interest. So all three of these options are opening trades, which is very important to verify. Because if these were closing trades, then this wealthy investor is not in this trade anymore. And so there is no reason to follow it. And so this is one of the mistakes that other websites and scanners make, where they assume all of these trades are opening trades. And so based on our analysis of this data and other data as well, this wealthy investor was selling the 190 strike puts to open. And then they were buying the 220 strike calls and selling the 235 strike calls. And so when we analyze this trade, we can see on the risk profile profit loss graph here that on the x-axis, which shows the share price of the stock, and the y-axis shows the profit loss. If it's below this zero line, the purple and blue lines, then it is a loss. So you can see that as the share price of JPMorgan Chase goes down, it becomes a negative loss. As it goes up from where it's currently trading at 214, it becomes a positive gain. And so this is a bullish long trade, and we can confirm it by taking a look at the Greeks, especially the delta, which is positive. Because if it was a short bearish trade, it would be a negative delta. And how do we know that this investor traded $148 million? Well, because we know they sold the 190 strike puts. And so this is a cash secured put. Notice that this trade is hedged to this $190 share price the blue line is flat, meaning this strategy limits its losses all the way to the $190 share price. So if we calculate the capital required to put on this trade, we can see that they sold 7,835 contracts. And by doing so, we can calculate the estimated buying power required for this trade. And so because they sold the 190 strike puts, which means they were willing to own 100 shares at the strike price, so we multiply by 100, selling a cash secured put. And so each of these contracts required $19,000 of buying power. And since there was a total of 7,835 contracts, we multiply that out and we get a total trade cost of $148 million. Now, even though this is a significant amount of capital, this trade is actually a higher risk trade in comparison to the trades that we share on our website, where it is lower risk and higher probability of profit. Because for one thing, $148 million in a $600 billion market cap company is just a drop in the bucket. So keep that in mind, because if you want more stocks wealthy investors and insiders are trading, since not all trades will be profitable, even this one might be a loss. As long as we diversify with higher quality stock picks based on this type of data analysis, then we can become more profitable in the long term. We'll put a link to our website up here if you are interested in gaining access to stronger data analysis to better stock picks than this one. Now, even though this is a higher risk trade, we still went long bullish, but we use position sizing to manage our risk. And you can see that this is our trade here, where we did not sell the 190 strike puts because it requires a lot more capital to do that. We simply went with the calls. Right over here, you can see our position. POS stands for position. Green means buy, and red means sell. So we bought the 220 strike calls, and we sold the 235 strike calls. And so when we analyze our trade, you can see here, this is a vertical call spread strategy. And each of these trades costs $381 of debit. And you can see that as the share price goes up, it becomes more profitable. And on the blue line, right over here where it shows the max profit, you can see is 1,119 per trade. Meaning our risk to reward ratio, 1,119, our reward divided by our risk of 381. That is our risk on this trade, is the debit that we paid. So our risk to reward ratio is a 2.93, meaning we could potentially make 293% profit on this trade. So the reward is in our favor on this trade, and that is why we took this trade, despite it being a higher risk trade in comparison to the trades that we share on our website. Now also notice that we are currently also trading near this resistance level here that has been rejected twice. And so that's another risk factor to this trade. So if you want better stock picks that have a lower risk and a higher probability of profit, then make sure to go to our website. We'll put a link up here. Let us know in the comments below, what do you think will happen to JPMorgan Chase stock? Will it break out of this resistance level, or will we get price rejected down again? As usual, please smash the like button, subscribe if you haven't, take care, and have a wonderful day.